What's up, Goodfellow and Heavy J here with 3J Gaming, talking about Sea of Thieves, having a discussion about the progression system. One of the last videos we're going to do before Sea of Thieves comes out on Sea of Thieves, because everything after this is going to be gameplay. That game is, just under 2 weeks away from when we're recording this video. So, here's our thoughts on the progression system and the amount of content. The game isn't a stat-based game, but sometimes visuals can only go so far. The progression is basically like, unfortunately, we haven't played the full game, so we don't know the full extent of what every quest is going to entail. But from what we did play, they were all really similar quests. Go to this island, find this treasure, or variation of maybe throw a couple skeletons you got to fight in there. And it kind of felt doing the same thing over and over. You turn in your chest, and then maybe you want to go fight some pirates to break up the monotony of the fetch questy quest that you are on. Hopefully the full game offers more variety, because if it doesn't, the progression is going to get very stale. Even with so it's like trying to play devil's advocate, but it's ultimately going to succeed, because that is what their intention is you're going to always see somebody with something that's going to be cooler than what you have, and you're going to want it. And to get it, you're going to have to do these various quests.
The thing is too, okay, we have these fetch quests, but even with the addition of the other trade routes, other merchants and whatnot, I don't think they're going to vary that much, dude. It's just going to be going from point A to point B. People that I don't know the names of them off the top of my head. The ones that are the mystical magic gatherers, they basically just give you bounties, which means you have to go to an island, kill like 3 or 4 skeleton guys, and then bring the skulls back. Merchants, I believe, like either
you have to find the island, and there's like animals they want you to capture on the island.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure how the traps and like stuff like that will work, but it's got to be to where like you have to keep them alive, and they can drown, and they can be stolen just like anything else. Like, they are precious cargo.
Right, but I feel like there's more to it than that, because we've also seen quests where you have to go to an island and you have to play instruments in a certain way to unlock.
Well, there's the puzzle map.
Something, yeah. But it takes more. It might they take more than one person sometimes. So we just need to see, how many of these different quests there actually are to break up the monotony of, okay, this is it, and then you're gonna spend your money on this stuff.
The global events are going to be the things that break it up. I think that the voyages are just going to be like the voyages. I think that the skull keeps and the raids on the skeleton strongholds is what's going to be breaking that up, to where like you're going on a voyage, and all of a sudden a giant skull cloud appears over a skull fort, and then that there's going to be good treasure there. You take that risk of going over there, because it's going to draw you in all the pirates in the area. And I think that
but they're going to have to do a bunch. They're going to have to do more than like one of those, because once you complete it and you get whatever you're going to get, then
they're like random. They're like public events in Destiny. They're just like, they just pop up like along with
like the Kraken.
Yeah, but they're going to be more frequent than the Kraken. Hopefully not quite as hard, because from what they're saying, the Kraken is going to take a great deal in order to take down.
That's why if you run into the Kraken on a sloop, you're probably fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Kraken will only attack a galleon.
No, I mean, you want everyone to be able to experience everything in the game. So, like, I believe it should be just as high of a chance as a galleon with 4 people as a single person sloop. I would like to see the Kraken if I was just playing solo. If I decided, I'm just gonna take it easy today and do some voyages, and try to get that last bit of gold for my gold shovel or whatever I'm doing. Jump on a little sloop and set sail by myself. I would absolutely love to be attacked by a Kraken. It's one of the things where it's like, well, shit. And I think that would be a hell of an adventure that you wasn't really expecting, but would still be fun. You know.
Well, I mean, I mean, if you don't want to do the progressions video, we don't have to.
We're doing it right now, man.
Oh, you're recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking should have told me.
It's better this way.
The thing that I like the most about it, but it also worries me is the fact that your whole progression is based on visual stuff. And you know me, I love different weapons and different items, and I'm a collector. I like try to collect all of them. Like like I said, when you had that gold shovel, I needed to have that gold shovel. If not just because you had it, because it looked really cool too. So, like I love that aspect of the game, but I just feel like if there's not enough of it in off like right off the rip, the game might not be that long of a game. You can only shoot yourself out of a cannon so many times before you're like, okay, I'm just shooting myself out of a cannon. It's not that much fun anymore.
That's true.
I mean,
yeah.
you could set up two galleons can set up, and you can like shoot yourself out of the cannon and try to make a field goal, and that's gonna be fun as hell. But at some point, you're gonna be like, okay, well, why am I doing this? And I know, Rare's said that you're doing this to become a pirate legend, and that's the end game. And so, either they need to have enough content, enough stuff to collect in the vanilla game to for me to keep wanting to play it.
The thing about Destiny, it was presented as a looter shooter, and people that like that type of gameplay was drawn to it. This has always been marketed as a open world adventure game that focuses on exploring and adventures and having fun. And the customization is just the icing on the cake on top of that. And the thing is, like, I do think that they will have a ton of stuff. Like, literally everything that we've seen so far has only been 2 different sets. Like the build chat and the admiral. So they could have 10 different sets. Not only on top of that, that's just I believe, and I'm hoping for, that's just the stuff you can buy. Now that's just like accessible to everybody that just plays the game and does voyages, gets money, and goes and buys these sets. Now I think, and I would hope, that there's other sets that are exclusive to doing the Skull Keeps and the Krakens and the events that they are going to be bringing
I think they're
out.
going to. Yeah, I think
that's going to keep it fresh.
I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do that as well as I think that like how you can get the golden shovel and what was it, the gold compass from the gold hoarders. I think you're going to see that was just 2 pieces. I think there's going to be more than that.
I think there's going to be maybe a whole set. Not only that, there's 2 other merchants. They'll have their own reputation pieces.
Right.
So
that's what
you might be able to get like a shotgun from the Mystics, or who knows.
Right. It's just like I said, it's a completely different type of progression system, and it's not one that I think I've seen like this, where it's. And I love it because anyone can pop in and play with anybody at any time. If I've played the game for 3 months and someone just bought the game, they can play with me, and it makes no difference. And that's something that's really rare in games that are this big, that are kind of on this level, that you can just pop in and play, no matter how long someone's been playing, which is a huge reason me and you really like this progression system.
Yeah, like that's one of the main reasons. Like me and you do not get the same amount of playtime, so on a lot of games, one of us progresses far past the other, and it becomes very difficult to play together. And in this, we can just jump on a boat, and go have some fun and have an adventure, and that's what this game is all about. And the thing is, I like it like this. My only critique, the only thing I could think of that would make it maybe slightly better, is if they did PvE elements to it. So let's say I have I spend 2,000 gold on a sword. My sword will do the exact same amount of damage a beginner sword would do to another player. But if I fight a skeleton, it would do 1.5 times as much, or something along them lines. The gold shovel
but if you start
digging up faster, like to where it doesn't really affect other players, but it helps you, manage the game.
Right, but when you're getting in, when you start talking about stuff like that, because the game is 100% level. Everything is balanced. Then you're starting to talk about you're trying to balance different things in the same world, which at some point it's not.
It's still horizontal. Everyone's still on the same playing field.
I understand what you're saying, but then you're talking into that's a lot of work for something that it takes you three whacks of a sword to kill a skeleton anyway. So you're talking a lot of work.
Actually, one of the play scales, they bumped them up quite a bit, and they were really annoying.
They're really annoying when there's 5 skeletons on you, and it still takes 3 whacks because you're just swiping your sword. Or
from what they're saying,
that's why I like
these raids are going to be a horde of them. I'm not saying that. Let's make it super easy.
I get what you're saying.
That would be still horizontal. That would still be, hey, me and you can still play together without any one of us having an advantage over each other. But still gain something.
You would
have an advantage, but it wouldn't be to the point to where it's like, oh well, I can destroy this entire fort, but by myself, and you can't even scratch a skeleton. It's going to be a difference.
No,
it takes 2 swings to kill a skeleton instead of 3.
It's still an advantage, which is not what they're trying to go for.
I understand that, that would be the advantage that I'm okay with, though.
Right, but I don't see that happening at all.
I don't either.
I just see
one thing I think they should add, but I really doubt they will. I'm not upset that they're not adding it, but if I were to make a change to it, that's the change I would make. That's as far as I would go, as far as giving it a progression.
I wouldn't even make that change, just because they kind of have their minds made up with the progression system that they have, and like I said, it's a good progression system. For me, it's just all about the amount of content that they have to have in the vanilla game, because I don't want it to turn into Destiny. And I know you're right, it's not a looter shooter, but it's an adventure game where you're going on, you have treasure maps, you're going on adventures to find treasure, which you're going to turn into loot.
Yeah.
So but you
have to make that that rewarding, and it does by making you be able to buy cosmetics. What's the reason? Right. Why should I go tackle this fortress, or why should I bother with this 3-day long voyage? And so you get something out of it, and that's 100% fine. And like you said, as long as there's enough stuff to be like, oh, well, I want this shovel, I want this, this eye reach, I want this compass, it'll give us motivation to go do those things. And as long as there's enough of that,
right, and I
think the game will succeed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and comment down below on what you guys feel about the progression system and the amount of content that they have displayed already. And if you haven't already, please give us a sub. We really appreciate it. And as always, this is for you, bro.